We locked and loaded?
Sure.
How's your week been?
Great.
You want to pull that a little closer to your red?
My week has been amazing.
I like amazing. Back for round 2.
Yes, sir.
It's still Super Bowl week.
Yes.
But seems like NBA stole a few headlines, right? That's kind of weird.
Yes, they did.
Let's get started then. I think. Welcome back. You already know what it is. Round 2, episode 2. For those that caught episode 1, we appreciate you guys. Fabulous day. This is the Corey Webster Experience. Welcome to the village. We're going to have a ball. We're going to fill you up with information. We're going to talk. We're going to have open and, a very informative discussion. I would like to say that I'm a observant podcaster. I don't know if that's a thing, but that's what I feel like I am. So anyway, without that being said, I think it's Super Bowl Friday. Like, it is Super Bowl Friday right now. So, we're going to talk about what's going on kind of behind the scenes, you know what I mean? And from our experience, how things probably should be going. And I don't want to say that it's just one way to do it, but what the players, coaches, and the staff is going through right now, how's the energy and things of that nature. But I think we have to talk about maybe 2 things. I think with, NFL normally takes the last 2 weeks, with the Pro Bowl being the week ahead of the Super Bowl and all of the activities being like a week long in that destination. Shout out New Orleans, because it's in New Orleans this year, 2025. Seemed like NBA tried to grab a little bit of the headlines with all of the trading and stuff going on. So I think we just have to touch it a little bit, right? Luka going to LA, 25-year-old. I think a lot of people made a big thing about that. Him being 25, him being the face of one franchise and being traded. I think we spent a lot of time in Dallas. So we saw that the Dallas faithfuls was very heartbroken about this trade, sending Luka and I forgot who else they said, but it's on Luka, and they got Anthony Davis and I think Maxi Christie and a first round pick. So a lot of people were saying, look, did we get what we deserve behind, Luka? That's what Dallas was saying, to be honest. So I don't think that you're going to be able to tell until you done had some years, some time has passed to see, did we actually get our value, right? You never know, right? This can inspire a Luka. This can inspire, motivate a AD. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people. Luka scored right around 28 points a game, and Anthony Davis scored right at about 24 points a game. So both was kind of questioned about their playing time. I'm not going to say it was behind the same reason, but their playing time. Remember, Luka, I think, played 28 games this season out of the 48 games that they have played, so he missed 20. AD has also have a knock on being healthy and things of that nature, missing games. So, but with both of those guys, you get about 28 points from Luka, 24 points from AD. AD is also a rim protector, so he can, really bring a mean presence when it comes to defense, especially when he's healthy, especially when he's out there on the court. So I just think we have to touch that a little bit. Anyway, a lot of other trades happened. Jimmy Butler finally was traded from the Heat. He's going to be with Golden State Warriors. What else? They got a bunch of trades. I can't remember them all.
Yes. LA Clippers receive Drew Eubanks from the Utah Jazz. And the Utah Jazz added PJ Tucker.
Another trade that I think that's cool and just mentioning, DeAndre Fox from the Sacramento Kings. He's going to be with Victor, Chris Paul.
San Antonio Spurs.
Yes. So I think that's good because I think Chris Paul has helped that team, that franchise, as far as being in the locker room and things of that nature. I know Chris Paul get a bad rap from a lot of the veterans and things like that, but I think DeAndre going to also be able to learn from him and some of the other young guards or the younger players around, because Chris Paul done play a long time. You can't argue against that. You know what I mean? He done put a lot of time in. He's a professional when it comes to taking care of his body, mind, body, soul, the whole nine. You know what I mean? So that'll be interesting. What else? What else is a big one? I think. Pause.
Cruz versus Ford Maverick. Look what Santa Cruz has.
We have.
I feel like I'm not gonna lie. I also feel like when they send these players, Milwaukee Bucks, they finally part ways with Middleton. There's a guy that's been there. He saw the franchise from one of the early beginnings when they was not having as much success as they have been having in the past. He also won a world champion with them. You know what I mean? So I'm not gonna lie. I feel. Not just me on the outside looking in. I feel a sort of way, we have some of those teams in the NFL that when they trade you to them, it's just like, wow, man, it's like a struggle. And I feel they're still getting paid, right? They're still getting paid to do a job, and they're still getting paid to play a game that they love. But everybody don't have money at the forefront, to just be able to settle things. So when they send them to Washington, I feel like that's like a tough place to play. I don't know what the culture is, but I know it hasn't been successful. I know it hasn't been winning culture. So I saw a few players that have won. I think Chris Middleton being one. Also Marcus Smart being another. Those guys saw success at the highest level, and now they're in Washington. That got to be tough. I think Kuzma is going to Milwaukee, a younger player, athletic player. He's also won with the Lakers, so that should be interesting. But I just felt like NBA with those trades, and we can get into that, probably at a later date, but the NBA with those trades, they kind of try to steal some of the headlines from Super Bowl and Pro Bowl weekend from the NFL. So hats off to them, but we'll dive more into that. Let's really dive into, the latter part of the week. It's Friday, Super Bowl is Sunday. Like, let's pull a curtain back on what the players are, going through, what the preparation is like. And this is, right now, I tell you this, we are on mostly as the week trickled down, the curfew get tighter and tighter. And what I mean by that, you may start off as, curfew being at like 1, 2 o'clock in the morning. And I know, you're going to have people like, what are you doing out 1, 2 o'clock in the morning? Well, if you get down there on Sunday, Monday will be a lighter practice, so to speak. Maybe like a lot of special teams, a lot of, just getting acclimated to your environment, your new environment, right? Tuesday, you normally have a day off, so that's why you would have, a later curfew on those days, right? You practice on Monday. It's a little lighter practice, special teams, little walkthroughs and things of that nature, sweating, working out. You still got to get a lift in. And then you have Tuesday off. So Monday you can see the town a little bit, right? Go out and see it. Me personally, and some people got out, but we kept it reasonable, When I was in those particular cities, I'm like, hey, it's a business trip, because so much can happen. And we have so many stories that we can tell that were public and some that were not public, But for the most part, staying in the hotel, staying out the way is the best part, even in the earlier part of the week. So, then Tuesday, off day, eat, spend some time with your family that didn't, travel and maybe eat a meal with them and stuff like that. Wednesday is your really your load day when it comes to install, when it comes, now mind you, you have installed prior to this because you had a week to prepare on your own soil, right, at your home practice facility. So now you're installing, you maybe, tweaking a couple of wrinkles that you didn't like, or maybe some things that you saw on film that you need to add that wasn't as privy to you before. You done went back through the film. You might be tweaking some of those things, but this is your heavy install day. This is where you're flying around in the field. It's your workload, right? Thursday, we're going to lessen that workload, so to speak. Wednesday might be the only day you hit. Thursday might be another day where you are thudding. Thudding is, you're getting a little pop to your pads, right? You don't want, because a lot of these times when you've been acclimated to tackling day in and week out, you take 2 weeks off from tackling, the Super Bowl or those type of bowl game experiences, tackling could be a thing, right? And if you don't tackle well in this last game, and you got people that would really, really, kind of expose the type of training that you did those 2 weeks that you was away from tackling and bringing them down to the ground. So you still want to get a thud. You still want to put yourself in position to make those tackles, even though you're not bringing your teammates down to the ground, because this is a Super Bowl. We're going to need all hands on deck. We don't need nobody to be injured right here in practice, right? And guys that's still nursing some things, they may not get contact, because we're still trying to, maximize everything we can get out these days. But when it comes to Friday is a speed practice. It's going to be the closest thing that you get to a game-like feel. So you want to fly around. Still, offensive and defensive line may be getting a little thudding going on, but now the skill positions, we're not thudding receivers. We're not thudding the running backs. We're letting them fly through, but we're getting our body as close in position to make these tackles, because you want to put yourself in position, and everything that you do prior to taking the guy to the ground, you want to be there. So that's what's happening on Friday. You got 2-minute drill. You got 7-on-7. You got red zone, and everything is going very fast, right? Defense have to be in position. You're ironing out all of the little wrinkles. Anything that you had that you was uncertain about, today is the day to get that corrected, because there's no more dress rehearsal. This is it. So, and this is a day you want to be as, efficient as possible. Efficient, effective as possible. And you want to get out the way. You don't need no, family member or friend calling and say, hey, you have more tickets? You have now. Right now you're trying to get off the social media. You're trying to, guys have 2 and 3 phones, right? So now one of the phones we need to be off, right? Some people call it the bad phone, whatever it might be. But anyway, the family line is just for emergency only, right? So you're trying to focus on the task at hand. You're watching as much film as possible on the last couple of games to see if you could pick up any last tip or tendencies that maybe your opponent is giving away, right? Did you hear anything? I'm not going to lie. Did you hear anything? Right? Because, you got media that's going back and forth to practice, and these people are humans, right? So did you hear anything? Somebody saying, oh, man, so-and-so didn't practice over there. You know what I mean? And are you taking it with a grain of salt, really and truly? Because, believe none of what you hear, half of what you see. So, but you're listening, who got a sore ankle? Who stepped on somebody's foot? Who was coming down the stairs and twisted their ankle? Who was sitting down too long? Who haven't been hydrating? Who was out drinking and now they're dehydrated? We want to know, because all is fair in trying to get a full understanding of who your opponent is. You know what I mean? Nothing is off limits, right? I'm not going to say cheating. We're just trying to get all the information that we can. So from a family standpoint, can you give what the families are doing, what the families are going through? The kids are in town. Kids might want daddy. These wives may want daddy, What is going on?
We are used to, the business at hand, moving around when it's game time. So I don't know for everybody, but for me, I took it as probably as calm as you did, because, I wasn't, super excited to go out and see whatever city we were in at that time, because hey,
this is New Orleans. Don't belittle our city, man. We got culture. We got a nightlife that does not close. Papa Lee, what do you say about New Orleans, man? You know what I'm saying? So this ain't what are we? Indianapolis.
Correct.
Phoenix, Arizona.
Yes.
A lot of those have dry. We got daiquiri shops we could pull up to and get alcohol.
So since we are speaking on New Orleans, yes, you will have to definitely be disciplined. make yourself, you know, that ear, that extra person, hey, to help comb whatever's going on in the area. Be that sound person when it's time to give that advice. Hey, rest yourself, say your prayers, do whatever you have to do, whatever your regular ritual, your routine is, do that.
Yeah. So some guy, they had Dennis Rodman. We had to go get him.
Well,
no. But now, on a serious tip, now you can always come back to New Orleans and visit.
Correct.
You know what I'm saying? You can always come back. Hey, after you win this game, after you play this game, Mardi Gras is in a month. You want to come back and see it for Mardi Gras, you can do that. You know what I mean? That's what I told the guys. Look, man, this is Indianapolis. Yes, it's a nice city, and I'm sure it's a lot of fun we could have here. Phoenix, we're not here for that. We can come back. You know what I mean? And we can come back as a team, you know what I mean? We come back as a group. And that's kind of was our motto, you know what I mean? And I remember after, because Saturday is nothing after that, Saturday. What I mean by Saturday is at the curfew, you back to just a regular road game. You might have chapel, mass. You have a team dinner. You have film studies. If, that's about it. You might have a guest speaker come in and talk. But it's about watching film and, quieting the noise around you. All hands on deck, locked in. All eyes, steely eye focus on the task at hand. That's going out there and trying to win one game. You know what I mean? The game that everybody's going to be watching. So it's just unique in that way, you know what I mean? Because the Super Bowl is the type of event that everybody, whether you like football or not, you go into the Super Bowl parties. You want to know what they're eating. You want to know what the festivities are. And everybody's watching it, you know what I mean? I feel like knock on basketball, and because I'm a basketball, I'm a hooper, and baseball and other sports, but I think Super Bowl is a unique experience and event, man. Do you look forward to the halftime show? I think it's the first time that a solo hip hop artist will be performing. We had 50 Cent, Jay-Z, Snoop Dogg, Dr. Dre, Mary J. I think Kendrick might have had a part in that too, right? In L.A.
I'm not quite sure.
But I think this is, and I think he's going to have some special guests. I think, what? This is a question. What surprises do you think Kendrick Lamar will pull out for the halftime show?
Not quite sure, but I can't wait.
Yeah. I know one person that probably could wait. I'm just saying, I think, with all the lawsuits and stuff that's been around Kendrick Lamar and his run that he's been on, I think, you got somebody over there that's saying, yeah, we can wait a little while, Anyway, right. But yeah, that's my take on coming into the Super Bowl. And we could go through the game now. Go ahead. I'm sorry. You got something?
Yes. It is estimated that about 123 million people watched the Super Bowl last year.
Say it again.
123 million.
I like the 23. Why? 23 had to be shot. We repping, Super Bowl weekend, and we repping, we got a little hardware on, we repping. 123 million people tune into the Super Bowl. Now, how is that in comparison to, say, an NBA World Championship? You know what I mean? How many people are tuning in? I know, I want to say LSU in the Final Four with the girls, they broke records as well. I think that was the most watching the, I don't want to lie because I don't want to leave a team out, but I think it was Iowa, LSU, South Carolina, and maybe Virginia Tech. Okay. I think they broke a record with viewership.
Well, it just explains that the average across all 5 games of the NBA, 11.6 million.
Wow, that's it. That's a lot of people tuning in, but that's the average. Every game, 11.6. That's what I'm saying, because it's maybe because it's a series. It's a 7-game series, and maybe people tune into the game 7 or maybe an elimination game a little more. But the Super Bowl, man, all eyes on deck. 123 million watching, and I'm sure they're going to break that record this year. I'm sure they're going to break that record this year. Yeah, I'm assuming that they've been breaking records every year. But yeah, that's outstanding, man. So just to, no pressure. You know what I mean? The players are just, all of them are focusing on the task at hand, you know what I mean? Doing their job and trusting that your brother, your teammate is going to do their job. I'll tell you this. People talk about speed, and when it comes to the Super Bowl, I would say they have a preseason speed. I would say they have a regular season speed where it picks up a little bit. I would say that they have a playoff speed. But I think Super Bowl speed is like no other. I remember being so tired at halftime. That's probably why they didn't remember who performed. I remember being so tired at halftime, like just taking off my shoulder pads, my shoes, and just wanting to catch my breath. And I promise, even with all that, because you know we have oxygen and all that on the sideline, I promise, even with all that, halftime felt like it was 2 minutes. Like I had to, the same halftime that we've been having all year, I felt like we had to rush to get ready to go back out there. Even with the performance, because, most halftime we don't have any performances, right? You know what I mean? And I think that was 42, the first Super Bowl. Man, I was like, wow. Just trying to catch my breath for halftime. I don't remember what adjustment we made. I don't remember what was going on. I just remember trying to catch my breath so we could go back out there. And, we was able to be victorious in both Super Bowls. But for the guys there for their first time, get your rest, hydrate. And when I say hydrate, not just the sugary drinks, I don't want to knock any person that has a, what do you call that? A sponsorship, you know what I mean? Because a lot of these teams, a lot of NFL have sponsorship, but be smart in how you hydrate yourself, you know what I'm saying? And I'm a guy that got IV at every game. Before every game I had to get IV. I was a cramper. Pause. I don't know. We have a pause meter here? No, like, are we saying the right things? You know what I mean? Because, this younger generation, even just this podcasting generation, context is very relevant, right? So, get your rest, hydrate. I had a trainer that would always say, drink before thirsty. I think his name was Masa. Drink before thirsty. And he was asked, if you thirsty, it's too late. You haven't properly hydrated yourself. So eat fruits, eat the right fruits that's going to hydrate you. Try to stay away from the sugar because you will cramp up just because of the excitement. So that's another thing. You're going to have to calm yourself down. You know what I mean? Family members as well. Calm yourself down. Because the excitement could be a bit overwhelming, right? And you be so jittery and you get yourself exhausted just from like the pregame, the warm up and things of that nature. So any player that's, watching, like, hey, calm yourself down. Practice breathing. There's a lot of breathing techniques. In through your nose, out through your mouth. Meditation is important. I did it all. And we was able to go out there and get 2 victories, man. Shout out to team, Super Bowl 42, Super Bowl 46, all of the staff, all the players, because it's no one-man show, you know what I mean? This is collective, it's a group, you know what I mean? It's the ultimate team sport. Another thing about football is the ultimate team sport. So, yeah, shout out to all, Super Bowl 42 and 46 winners. Couldn't have done it without you, the staffs, the whole organization, man. We made history, literally, and we're going to always be relevant and be able to, do whatever it is that, you want to around Super Bowl time, playoff time. Your story, should be told and heard. Everybody has a unique story, So shout out to those guys. Anything else we got?
No, sir. I think that's it.
You sure?
Yes.
And I say this too, the celebrations, man. You talk all that. They have all these parties. I made it to the hotel lobby, and not to the hotel lobby. I shouldn't say that. It was we had a family and friends room, a ballroom that we had sectioned off for the family and friends. That's as far as I made it. You know what I mean? Because talking about leaving it all on the field. Again, I got a couple of bags of IVs, so that was it. I showered. Made it right to the family room and enjoyed the families and everybody that came supported that was allowed in that space. So that was awesome. So again, because they might not have been on the field, but they deserve they just due too. You know what I mean? For the sacrifice that they have made. You know what I mean? A lot goes into being great. A lot goes into winning championships. So it's a lot of wives, a lot of those support systems, parents, kids, relative, just support system that, sacrifice a lot of time away from that individual. So barbers, beauticians, you know what I mean? There's a lot that goes into it. I can't name them all and I'll forget them, but yeah, that's what we did. We hung out there and then, then we took a flight the next day back to have probably the best parade. Nobody has a parade like New York City. Shout out to all of the heroes that came down before us because we go down the same, I don't want to lie, the same parade that our soldiers, when they come back from war, goes down. Look that up. What parade route that is. So, again, New York is different in that way, you know what I mean? Because, it's the media mecca of the world. It has a lot that goes on in New York. So we had, I know they put numbers up and things of that nature, but, we saw people hanging out the buildings, right? We had to put some of that footage up, right? Put some throwback pictures up, you know what I mean, of things that happened throughout that time. So yeah, I enjoy it, man. It's a cool experience, and that's just me just trying to pull back the curtain a little bit so you guys can see some behind the scenes or understand some of the behind the scenes stuff, What that parade was like, what that parade route is?
Canyon of Heroes.
See, I want this to be informative. So, again, those are the guys that are the true heroes of the world. They make it possible for us to walk around here as brave and do the things that we love to do. So it's an honor just to be able to follow, that same path that they come down in a celebration and give that to the city because of how they support us. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to all of the Big Blue Nation. Shout out to all of the service people. I say this too when we talking about service people. They say this will be the safest Super Bowl in history down in New Orleans. New Orleans have been named to be a lot of things. We got some bad reps about a lot of things. Now take this time too to also our prayers and condolences to, I think we lost 14 lives January 1st when that act of terror happened, right? And it's still some people that's healing and, going through their process when it comes to that situation. So having that happen at the beginning of the year and then having Super Bowl there a month later, we have a strong police presence down there in New Orleans. And, New Orleans has been known to be, a unique place, and it's also hadn't shied away from some of the violence and stuff that New Orleans has been known for. So kudos to them to have the presence out there so families can come out there and enjoy the festivities. And, everybody, man, take it upon yourself to go out there with a positive attitude and, be nice, be kind, right, to individuals. So shout out to all the servicemen and women that's going to be down there in New Orleans that's going to, provide that safe place for us to enjoy this beautiful game that we love, right? And hopefully we can break another record with having 123 plus million people tuned in. And any predictions? Shout out to Coach Spags, defensive coordinator for the, if they have a Hall of Fame for assistant coaches and D coordinators, Coach Spags should be in it, right? Shout out to Dave Merritt, defensive back coach for Kansas City Chiefs. And, we got a lot of Louisiana guys into it. Shout out to, Jester Reed, Kansas City. Mm-hmm. Tyrann Matthews won a Super Bowl with Kansas City as well.
Correct.
Edward Hilaire, LSU running back, he also won a championship with Kansas City Chiefs. It's a bunch of those guys that played there, you know what I mean? A few Kansas City Chiefs came from LSU, right? Who else? Tyson Jackson played Kansas City. Dwayne Bowe, Kansas City. All that's going to be in the city. If I'm not mistaken, I know he went to San Francisco after, but I think Big Pud, East Ascension. I think he got drafted there, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, Big Pud, I think he got drafted there, and he finished up in in San Francisco, if I'm not mistaken. Also, we got Amy, I-55. I don't want to pronounce his name wrong. Smith for the Eagles, receiver. Devontae Smith, I'm sorry. Devontae.
Yes, you said that.
I may be missing one, huh?
Yes. Let's see. It is. It says safety Andre Sam.
Andre Sam.
He's with the Eagles.
Yep.
Ty Davis Price.
Didn't know Ty David Price.
Former LSU Tiger.
Okay.
Eagles running back.
Okay.
You said Justin Reed, Devontae Smith, and Milton Williams played at Louisiana Tech.
Okay, Milton. Shout out Milton Williams. Yep.
He's with the Eagles.
So, all those guys are going to be back home or, back to their college town or college state, should I say. So, shout out to all those guys, Final prediction. Let's go. Who you got?
I'm going with the Eagles.
You going with the Eagles?
Yes.
Okay. Jalen Hurts played under Saban. Saquon played with the Giants for a minute. Good,
Yes.
Great people. You're on record. Any score prediction?
Nope.
Blowout, close game, doesn't matter. You just saying Eagles going to win?
Yep.
Well, that's your prediction, and that's been our episode 2. I appreciate you guys for, locking in. This is fun. I'm not going to lie to you. Look, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell, like it, beat up that like button. Beat it up, you know what I mean? And, again, getting those comments, be subjective, you know what I mean? But always be respectful. I'll leave y'all with Colin Powell thoughts. What he said, Colin Powell said, have a vision, be demanding. That's what we're doing. So y'all have a great one. Fabulous day. We out.